Good morning, everyone. I am Kate Doherty. I work in the Dean of Students office, and I use the pronouns she, her, and hers.
Howdy, everyone. I'm Warren Shear with the Gender and Sexuality Campus Center, and I use the pronouns per and pers. Kate and I have the honor of serving as the co-chairs of the Student Affairs Professional Development Committee, or the SAPDC. The committee with the forwarded emails about Diversity Book Club and the Akabin Restorative Practices training coming up next year.
You say next year like it's more than a month away. It's almost 2021. But before we get there, we do need to take some time to recognize our colleagues for their hard work and contributions.
Hope everyone is out there staying hydrated. You know, that's really important to me. And Kate, you're absolutely right. Let's get this party started. And I also want everyone to know that the SAPDC will work with Student Affairs Communications to acknowledge the accolades and recognitions our colleagues across Student Affairs have received. And without further ado, Kate, if you'll kick us off.
Absolutely. The slide that you see up on your screen is our agenda for today. So bullet point number 1, Warren and I are getting us all started. Second, Vice Chancellor Dr. Reeser with Student Affairs will provide a welcome. Dr. Christina Olsted, our Dean of Students, will provide some insight on SAPDC and the awards. And then Warren and I will team together to acknowledge all of our nominees, present the awards, and then Dr. Reeser will give our closing. I will turn it back over to Warren for our land acknowledgement.
Thanks, Kate. We gather today to share community in a new digital format, using equipment and high-speed internet not available in many Indigenous communities. This technology, which has now become central to our daily lives, leaves a significant footprint and contributes to changing climates that disproportionately affect Indigenous people. Although we are here together, virtually, separated by distance, in different geographical locations, collectively, we all sit on Indigenous land. The University of Wisconsin-Madison occupies Ho-Chunk land, a place their nation has called Teejop since time immemorial. In an 1832 treaty when both the federal and state government repeatedly but unsuccessfully sought to forcibly remove the Ho-Chunk from Wisconsin. This history of colonization informs our shared future, collaboration, and innovation. Today, UW-Madison respects the inherent sovereignty of the Ho-Chunk Nation, along with the 11 other First Nations of Wisconsin. Please take a moment to consider the many legacies of violence, displacement, migration, and settlement that bring us together here today. And please join us in covering such truths every day. And now, Dr. Reeser.
Good morning. Thanks, Warren and Kate, for kicking us off this morning. And thanks to everyone for being here with us virtually. I'm so looking forward to the day when we can get away from these computer screens and really celebrate together in person. This has been an unbelievably challenging year, filled with incredible examples of creativity and resilience. We started last fall by introducing a brand new set of student affairs priorities. Do you remember any of those? We welcomed new leaders and in some cases built new teams. We elevated our work in diversity, inclusion, and social justice with important organizational changes and created actionable goals for our teams. We began and continued doing the hard work within ourselves and with each other to build relationships and work towards change. We were moving forward so well. Then our lives turned upside down. Our work pivoted when COVID hit. Many of you were part of the Emergency Operations Center. Again, can you remember that? Doesn't that feel like about 10 years ago? Working with teams of people across the university to implement decisions that had to be made super quickly. Most of us went home when the campus closed, but some of you stayed to help keep things running for our students who couldn't leave. Then we learned how to do virtual events, how to avoid Zoom bombs. We opened the terrace, at least for a bit, for the summer. We put on our first ever virtual production for SOAR, the student organization fairs, family weekend, Heritage Month celebrations, all of those things done virtually, plus much, much more. We organized an impressive, top-notch campus testing program, and learned all we could about COVID. We continue to build relationships and learn how to best engage students through a good measure of trial and error and a strong dose of humbling reality. The Office of Fraternity and Sorority Life was created. Soon after came the Office of Inclusion Education. We even developed a 3-year advancement plan for student affairs. We have done so much this year. It's impossible to capture the true impact of our work. Most importantly, I want you to know how truly proud I am of the grace and resilience you've shown this year. Through all the losses we've experienced, I'm excited to celebrate our many wins. But now, on to the real show. The awards ceremony is about recognizing the achievements of the 2019 to 2020 academic year from each of the 4 areas of student affairs. And those theme areas are health and well-being, led by Jake Baggett, identity and inclusion, led by Gabe Javier, leadership and engagement, led by Mark Guthier, and student advocacy, led by Christina Olstad. Though not specifically included in the award areas, I want to acknowledge our central staff, led by Argyle Wade and his team. The Student Affairs Professional Development Committee has done a great job. They've organized 3 separate award categories to highlight the remarkable work within these areas of student affairs and with our partners across campus. So before I pass the stage to Dean Olstad to share a little bit more about the awards, quick shout out to our Professional Development Committee. Awesome job, especially Warren and Kate for their leadership. Thank you so much for all the time and effort into making this celebration a reality. Now, over to Dean Olstad, and enjoy the show.
Thank you, Vice Chancellor Reeser. To all who have gathered today, we appreciate you taking the time to come together, celebrate, and recognize the many contributions from across student affairs. There's currently a plane flying over my house, so you're probably going to hear that as well. As Vice Chancellor Reeser mentioned, this was far from navigating a typical year at UW-Madison, and it's important for us to reflect and acknowledge our colleagues and their contributions to student affairs and our campus community. The awards categories for the 2019-2020 academic year were proposed by the Student Affairs Professional Development Committee and approved by the Student Affairs Cabinet. The categories are commitment to the Wisconsin experience, leadership in diversity, inclusion, and social justice efforts, and our Student Affairs Partner Award. This ceremony has been brought to us today by the Student Affairs Professional Development Committee, or SAPDC. The SAPDC is comprised of members from across all pillars in student affairs, and members include Chris Diorio of the Center for the First Year Experience, Emily Pomakalski of Recreation and Wellbeing, Joel Garrett of the Wisconsin Unions, Kate Doherty of the Dean of Students Office, Liz Valentine of University Health Services, Dr. Ning Sun of SA Administration, Shayna Murtaugh of University Health Services, and Warren Shearer of the Gender and Sexuality Campus Center. Thank you to the SAPDC for your time, talent, and contributions in coordinating the awards ceremony for us today. And now I'll turn it back over to Kate and Warren so we can recognize all the nominees.
Thank you, Christina. So everyone knows that nominations were collected from spring 2020 to summer 2020. Nominations were received and reviewed and voted by the SAPDC, and based on the review and vote, those recommendations were made to the Student Affairs Cabinet for consideration. And now the nominees are, waiting for my next slide, thank you. The nominees are Eric Guerrero, Abby Deal, Ashley Lax, next slide, Barb Kautz-Whitwer, Do It Academic Technology, Do It Program Management Office with Do It Identity and Access Management, Do It Enterprise Integration, and Do It Risk Management, Compliance and Engineering, Dong Chen, Heidi Lang, Kate Lewandowski, Matt Douglas, Outdoor UW, Peter Keplin, and Stephanie Diaz de Leon.
Oh.
Congratulations to all of you on your nominations. It is a pleasure to recognize each of you on your efforts. Warren, I'll hand it over to you.
Just want to shout out Mo Kappas as well, who's also a nominee. If we progress to the slide, I want to let everyone know we will review a little bit about each of the awards, announce the award recipient for each pillar in order, excuse me, and then give you a snippet from each of their nominations. There are 4 awardees per category. The first award to be presented this morning is the Commitment to the Wisconsin Experience Award. This award, as part of Dr. Lori Burkham's legacy, recognizes champions who have used their work at UW to have a positive and significant impact within student communities. This Wisconsin experience, is characterized by close integration of in and out of classroom experiences, by active, creative, and entrepreneurial engagement in real-world problems, and by offering students leadership in their learning. And now for the presentation of the awards. The Commitment to the Wisconsin Experience Award from Advocacy goes to Matt Douglas. Matt stepped into his role as student print advisor 2 years ago with the purpose of empowering its team members to run a business while connecting with the UW community. Matt consistently models how to frame challenges as opportunities. Matt continuously points out the opportunity for process improvement and growth. Through the course of his work, demonstrates values that are important to student advocacy and student affairs as a whole, including honesty and vulnerability. Matt can identify what is challenging and then ask for and accept help. These are the incredibly important traits to show our student leaders. Congratulations, Matt. Up next, the Commitment to the Wisconsin Experience Award from Health and Wellbeing goes to Abby Deal. Abby's nominators said, slide please, thanks. In her 2 years here, Abby has made a significant impact on our entire campus, She's established relationships with colleagues in University Health Services, the Center for Healthy Minds, the Multicultural Student Center, the Samaritan Family Foundation, as well as the state and county health officials. Abby is highly creative, energetic, and has an unparalleled work ethic. She has and continues to champion the vision of how well-being programs can have a transformative impact on UW students. Congrats, Abby. Now, for my own pillar, the Commitment to Wisconsin Experience Award from Identity and Inclusion goes to Dong Chen. Dong's nominators said Dong uses her unique experiences and ability to express the needs of the international student community to serve as a bridge through which all international students build community, a sense of belonging, and can have a meaningful and sustained Wisconsin experience. Felicidades, Dong, congrats. And up next, and the final award for the Commitment of the Wisconsin Experience Award for Leadership and Engagement goes to Barb Kautzwitwer. Barb's nominators said across her career, Barb's primary purpose is to center the student experience in her work. Barb demonstrates her deep care as the embodiment of empathy and humility via a variety of formal and informal roles, including supervisor, advocate, programmer, advisor, and mentor. She intentionally provides students opportunities to make meaning of their experiences and explore the wide variety of engagement opportunities. Barb is a community leader and engages in public service to create and sustain positive change, both on and off campus. Her service-oriented nature leads her to advocate and acknowledge the good work of colleagues and students. Congratulations, Barb. And I want to offer congratulations to all of our award recipients for the Commitment of the Wisconsin Experience Award. And a note to everyone across student affairs: the next time you communicate with them, we encourage you to congratulate them as well. I'll turn it over to Kate.
Thanks, Warren. The other thing I will mention is that we have enabled the chat feature on our YouTube video today, so please do not hesitate to throw out some shout outs and accolades to our lovely colleagues as we move forward to the next award. We will present the Student Affairs Award for Leadership in Diversity, Inclusion, and Social Justice Efforts. This recognition will be given to an individual who has demonstrated leadership and courage while initiating, creating, and supporting a more socially just learning and work environment for students and staff, whether within or beyond the scope of their current position. The individual has a clear record of fostering an open, positive, inclusive campus community and demonstrates a commitment, spirit, and integrity to social justice, both professionally and personally. The Leadership in DISJ Efforts Awards for Student Advocacy goes to Eric Guerrero. Eric's nominators state that Eric pushes and encourages colleagues to integrate our own actions, beliefs, and motivations, and to be more empathetic leaders and strong advocates for social and racial justice. He has never wavered in his commitment to do what is best for our students, even when that means taking a stand that others might not be willing to take or might not want to hear. We know social change work is difficult, messy, ever-evolving, vital, and yet challenging to do well. Eric is committed to meeting this challenge through his work with the aim to cultivate a socially just and equitable campus culture at UW-Madison. Eric is someone to be admired in the uphill culture change struggle at UW-Madison. Congrats, Eric. The Leadership in DISJ Effort Awards for Health and Wellbeing goes to Ashley Lax. Ashley recently led RecWell's bi-weekly conversations around engagement, inclusion, and diversity through self-work and reflection, inclusive of meeting every other Tuesday morning for an hour to discuss articles, podcasts, and TED Talks on the topics of privilege, anti-racism, and allyship. She consistently ensures that topics of diversity and inclusion are incorporated into staff training and facilitates ongoing conversations with students and employees. She has been a leader of RecWell's EID committee that designed and delivered a diversity forum program for our student employees with 150 participating on a Sunday afternoon. She has shown outstanding leadership in fashioning RecWell's anti-racism strategies. Congratulations, Ashley. The Leadership in DISJ Effort Awards for the Identity and Inclusion area goes to Kate Lewandowski. Kate served on the search committee for the cluster hire Opening Doors Through Language Access and Equity. Kate ended up providing critical information to the committee about issues related to deafness, American Sign Language, interpreters, and the deaf community. Her role was then expanded to educate the faculty and students in each of the home departments of the prospective new deaf employees on this issue. As one of the only staff members on our campus who identifies as deaf, Kate is in a challenging role of educator while experiencing all of the emotional labor that entails daily. Kate continues to share her perspective and commitment to creating an inclusive and supportive campus environment for students and staff with disabilities on our campus. Congratulations, Kate. The Leadership in DISJ Effort Awards from Leadership and Engagement goes to Mo Kappas. Mo demonstrates an ongoing commitment to advocating for social justice in many capacities within ALPS, CFLY, student affairs, across campus, and within the community. At CFLY's Summer Summit, she facilitated a critical anti-racist organization assessment that unearthed important feedback that will help drive CFLY towards a more inclusive future. She remains a vocal and unwavering advocate for staff holding marginalized identity and consistently engages in social justice work with students and colleagues. Congratulations, Mo. And congratulations, awardees. Thank you for all your leadership and role modeling for all of us across student affairs and for our colleagues across student affairs. Be sure to congratulate them the next time you connect or in the chat below. Warren, I'll hand it back over to you.
Yay, thanks. I thoroughly enjoy celebrating folks, and I'm delighted to be presenting our final award this morning for Outstanding Student Affairs Partner. This award is presented to any person, department, unit, division that has worked and or collaborated with student affairs to build sustainable relationships that seek to personalize and further humanize an often complex and overwhelming university. In order to make the campus more centralized and have an at-home feel, all in the service of students. So up first for Outstanding Student Affairs Partner Award from Advocacy goes to Do It Academic Technology. Do It Academic Technology's nominators said, coming off the experience of transitioning UW's spring courses to online delivery, the Do It Academic Technology team pivoted to support welcoming our newest students. The task was daunting: create a new online experience that delivered critical content and engaged new students and their families in a way that felt truly welcoming. All of this was done in about 8 weeks, a feat that a private consulting firm estimated would take 4 to 6 months. The upbeat, collaborative attitude of the Do It Academic Technology team not only resulted in a well-executed program, but also created partner relationships that will last beyond this summer. Congrats to our colleagues in Do It Academic Technology. Up next, the Student Affairs Partner Award from Health and Wellbeing goes to Outdoor UW. Outdoor UW's nominators said, what I appreciate most about their partnership is the continued creativity and idea sharing. Whenever I work alongside any Outdoor UW staff, there is always a culture of idea generation and continued progress for our partnerships. The team at Outdoor UW is always willing to help students find their way to activity and well-being. Congrats, colleagues at Outdoor UW. Up next, the Student Affairs Partner Award from Identity and Inclusion goes to Peter Kleppen. Peter's nominator said Peter has been a main point of contact and consultation to produce videos for use in our Wisconsin and SOAR, as well as being a source of an incredible amount of support related to panels and StreamYard, like the one you all are enjoying today. Peter has also used his platform to lift up student voices, particularly students of color, in their efforts to tell their stories. Congrats, Peter. And our final award in this category, the Student Affairs Partner Award from Leadership and Engagement goes to Do It. Specifically, Do It Project Management, Do It Identity and Access Management, Do It Enterprise Integration, and Do It Risk Management, Compliance, and Engineering. This expansive team's nominator said they were instrumental in assisting the WisCard office in designing and implementing the first ever online photo submission process for first-year student photo IDs. This process was required due to SOAR going virtual. The implementation phase occurred days before students arrived in late August. The Do It teams put in long hours alongside union staff as we authenticated photo submissions from over 7,000 students. Oh my goodness. Without their leadership and assistance, we could not have served and supported students through this time of transition. I want to wish a hearty congrats to our colleagues at Do It, namely Project Management, Identity and Access, Enterprise Integration, and Risk Management, Compliance, and Engineering. On behalf of our colleagues across Student Affairs, know we thank you and appreciate your continued partnership. We wouldn't be where we are without it. We will give you shout outs whenever possible. And to my colleagues across Student Affairs, be sure to thank and congratulate the awardees for Student Affairs Partner when you have the chance. Recognize all nominees and congratulate the awardees on their efforts. Thank you all, and I'll turn it back over to Dr. Reeser.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I have to tell you, I'm having like an allergic reaction or something in my office. So if I start sneezing, I just apologize in advance, but all of a sudden my allergies are just kicking up. Anyway, Congratulations again to all our nominees and our award recipients. Highly, highly deserved. And we're so grateful for your service, for all the hard work that you've done, and for those outside of Student Affairs, for all your partnership. Before we close today, I just want to highlight a few things that are coming up on the horizon. As Warren mentioned earlier, if you're interested in learning more about restorative practices in your work, we have a great professional development opportunity next semester with the Student Affairs Professional Development Committee. Talk to your supervisor or one of the committee members if you're interested. Applications are due by close of business on December 8th. So December 8th, applications are due for this exciting, excellent restorative practice professional development opportunity. Another calendar event, please mark your calendars for our Martin Luther King Day event on January 25th, with renowned author Isabel Wilkerson, who wrote Caste, The Origins of Our Discontents. Thanks to Gabe Javier's leadership on this and to the Union Theater for hosting the virtual event. So again, January 25th, MLK event with Isabel Wilkerson. I want to thank all the Student Affairs units who developed their diversity, inclusion, and social justice goals. We have a lot of important work to do, and I look forward to seeing the change we can make through our concerted efforts. We must, and we will, do more to create a campus climate where everyone feels welcome and valued, especially our underrepresented students and staff. Oh, excuse me. I appreciate that there's still a lot of unknown for the spring semester. We are concerned about continued surges of the coronavirus, the flu season, and the impact that winter could have on our own mental health. At the same time, I'm hopeful that our new testing regime will allow for more of us to work safely on campus and create more engagement opportunities for our students, which we know they are desperately wanting. I'm also hopeful for the vaccines that are coming to protect the most vulnerable members of our families and our communities. 2020 has been a super hard year, but we also know that there were silver linings, and we are looking forward to 2021. And as Kate said, it is around the corner. Finally, remember to take care of yourselves and each other. I truly hope you'll take some time off during the winter break and find some time to rest and find joy. This is still a marathon journey. Be kind to one another and yourselves, because we're all in this together. Thank you for all you've done this past semester. And if I don't see you, have a wonderful winter break.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much. And as I often like to do when I end things, I have 2 notes for you. One is to remind you to stay hydrated. Coffee doesn't count. I know that I'll lose some friends when I say that. Coffee does not count in staying hydrated. And as always, and I implore you to revel in and fill yourself up with every moment of joy and laughter that you are presented with, because you deserve that and so much more. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday, and looking forward to seeing you all around. Bye.
Bye. Take care, everybody.